about 4 o'clock, and I was thinking about what it is that makes people change. And in the church, so much of the time we feel like we have to operate according to everyone else's principles and thoughts and thought processes. But one of the things I've noticed, particularly when people are young in the Lord, is that they get lots of prophetic words in the last few years. And these prophetic words begin to stack up, and they begin to put a pressure on people, and they begin to think about what they're going to do. Do I measure up? Do I not measure up? The voice of the Lord comes through the Word of God. What does God say about you in the Word? And after we get past that place, we may have tangible times where the Lord speaks to us. In 20 plus years of being a believer and being in ministry, I've only had the Lord speak to me 3 or 4 times audibly. And not every one of them reflects the same type of thing. I think the thing that's been concerning me lately is many people have prophetic words. And without a strategy for what to do with those prophetic words, it makes it difficult for us to make a decision on what we're going to do. We shouldn't freeze up in the thought process of how great a word is. One of the bigger concerns I've had is it seems like people are trying to collect prophetic words. It's almost like the old-time thing where Indians used to collect scalps on a belt, or some of those crude things that we heard about notches on belts and all those things. But what it really comes down to is, what does the Word do to change you? One of the things I like to help people with is build strategy. If God gives you a word that you're going to be in full-time ministry, which is an unusual word, by the way, what are your steps? What are your plans? What is your thought process? After that, I look at some of these things, and it just reminds me that people just try to check things off on a list. I'm going to get out of college, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have 2.3 children, or whatever the number is, and I'm going to have all these things. But I'm talking about fullness of life. What are you and I going to do to have fullness of life? And so when we get a prophetic word, rather than sit there and put it on a shelf, we begin to war with it. We begin to develop strategy. I heard years ago about this story about a man who had all this clothing that he bought, and he never did anything with it, and when he died, it was still in bags. Well, I have to confess that I have 2 or 3 shirts that I bought 20 plus years ago, and they're still in plastic bags, because I believe there's going to be a time that will come where I'll be able to use those things. Well, we don't treat prophetic words like that. Prophetic words will come in the fullness of their time, but what we do between here and there dictates what that fullness of time measure is. I would say to you that if you have a prophetic word, that you begin to use it. If your prophetic word is that you're going to be a teacher, begin to evaluate that through conversation with God. But whatever you do, can I encourage you not to put it on the shelf? Can you not keep it wrapped up in the bag, but can you be like a child at Christmas and unwrap it, tear the wrapper if you need to, but pull it out of the box, pull it out of the bag, and begin to look at it and say, okay, what does this really mean for me? I want people to be challenged with the words that they get. Challenged because the words are bigger than them sometimes. So today, this is my word for you. If you have a prophetic word and you've not looked at it for a couple of weeks, couple of months, I want you to take one word and I want you to put it on your table or your desk or wherever you study, and I want you to say, God, breathe on this word for me today. Make it alive. Make me be able to understand what it means and do something with it. And if you need help with strategy and I'm one of your friends and somebody that can help you, send me the word and I'll begin to walk it out with you if you'd like. But please do not leave it in the plastic bag for a generation to come to find out and go, wow, that was a really cool word that Lee had. It's really too bad that he didn't use it. These are really nice shirts. He never took them out of the bag, but someone else will get use of these things. God gave you those prophetic words that you would get use of them. And so today I ask you to begin to get use of your words, whatever they are. May God bless you in your search for who you are and what you are to be. Not just to check things off on a list and say, been there, done that, had fun, next, but so that you will enjoy fullness of life. God bless you.